Hello guys, today I want to talk about some film theory and expand your knowledge, and you can show off your analyzing skills in the next movie talk with your mates. I will explain the auteur theory, we have a look at formalism and realism, and we learn about genre, narrative and allegory in movies. You will see movies in a different light when you finally are able to analyze movies from a different perspective. Let's have a look at the auteur theory. The auteur theory sees the director of a movie as a primary author of a movie. It argues that directors have a distinctive voice which make their movies unique in style, story and subject matter, which means you easily can identify the director by watching one of the movies without knowing it is his or her movie. Auteurs have a strong, coherent personal style, they have technical competence, and the movies have interior meanings and recurring thematic patterns. Examples for these kind of directors would be Quentin Tarantino or Tim Burton. Their style is very unique and repeated throughout their movies. If you look at different Tarantino movies, you will notice that there's at least a trunk shot. The music style is usually very much the same style, and his movies are always violent. Auteurs are more seen as creators rather than producers. Next, formalism. Formalism as well as realism are linked to the concept of aesthetics. Formalists argue that the style of a movie can reshape reality and is therefore aesthetic and valuable. It also focuses on techniques such as strong editing to recreate reality. Formalism is concerned of how the elements of filmmaking affect the audience. The beauty of the image is more important to formalists than the plain reality. One major theorist was Rudolf Arnheim, who believed that films don't just record reality, but transform the way in which the human eye perceives reality. He identified techniques such as editing, the camera shots and angles, or the use of black and white as the keys to manipulate that reality. For Arnheim, a film is a mixture of art and reality, and only through manipulation of reality, the human mind perceives what is ordinarily not perceived. An example for a formalist movie would be Suspiria from 1977 by Dario Argento. Realism. Realism almost can be seen as the opposite of formalism. Though it is a concept of aesthetics, it has a complete different idea of what movies should represent and what makes them valuable. Realists are aware that a movie is not the reality, but it is the truest representation of it. Therefore, too much changing of reality by strong editing should be avoided and is actually seen as being intrusive and manipulating. Truth and reality is their beauty. Minimal editing, long shots, non-professional actors, location shooting and long takes guarantee this beauty standard. Key thinkers were André Bazin and Siegfried Kracauer. According to Kracauer, a movie has a capability of capturing reality and therefore had the responsibility to reflect it. This reflection would be destroyed by using too much effects and editing reality away. An example for a movie according to the tradition of realism is Kids from 1995 by Larry Clark. Are you still with me? Great. Then let's move on to the exciting concept of genre. Genre is a categorization of movies by looking at similarities and same characteristics. It has 6 genre conventions that help categorizing movies. These conventions are narrative, setting, iconography, basic themes, characterization, and techniques. The narrative are structures and plots within the movie, conflicts, resolutions, and predictable situations. Ever thought why it is sometimes so easy to guess what happens next in a certain type of movie? That's why. The setting is the geographical or historical placing of the story. Same genres tend to use same places or same historical settings. Iconography. It is the reappearing set of icons that are used again and again. Simply reappearing colors, costumes, style of music, patterns, or even typecasting. Basic themes are hidden or underlying meanings in a movie. It can be one or more meanings. These are usually defined by symbols, motifs, or metaphors. For example, In horror movies, when teenagers are getting killed off one after another, teenagers that had premarital sex and were drinking alcohol. There sure is the underlying moral: don't drink and don't have sex before you marry. Characterization. Simple as that. It is the similar types of characters and roles in a certain movie genre, including personal qualities, motivation, and behaviors. Film techniques. Same genres tend to use the same film techniques, for example, camera angles, lighting, or shots, and so on, as it has an effect on the audience. Some angles make you feel uncomfortable, while other techniques strengthen the dramatic effect, for example, a close-up of someone crying. Narrative. The narrative in a movie is like a chain of events that are defined by space, time, cause, and effect, and it is organized in the form of a beginning, middle, and end. It doesn't necessarily mean that beginning, middle, and end have to be chronological. For various effects, that can be non-chronological. The Bulgarian-French professor Tsvetan Todorov influenced film theory by pointing out the 5-point theory that claims that a movie is formed by a certain structure consisting of equilibrium, the normality in which characters live, disruption, which is a destruction of the normality, and an event that puts the story in a new direction, recognition of disruption, where the hero realizes something in his world is not right anymore. Attempt to repair disruption, where the hero tries to get back to normality, but usually has to fight against a couple of obstacles until he reaches his goal. Reinstatement of equilibrium, normality, where our hero goes back to his normal world, or at least eliminates the thing that isn't right in his normality. One last term I have to mention is allegory. Sounds complicated, but simple as that, it is just a hidden meaning within a movie. Other than just looking at parts such as one symbol or one metaphor, the allegory is looking at a complete movie. An example could be The Labyrinth from 1986 by Jim Henson. We see this whole epic fantasy story, fantasy creatures, and a fantasy world. But the hidden message is actually quite simple. A girl is becoming a woman. So guys, I hope your film theory and analyzing skills got pushed to another level. I hope you enjoyed the video and maybe learned something new. Bye!